From the 7,640 Philippine Islands to Fort St. John, British Columbia. This is SITU, thriving in our new Bayan.
My name is Merlita Ryder. I first came here in Fort St. John back in February 1999. I lived in Marikina City, Philippines, and I was living with my parents and I was unemployed that time. I have a bachelor's degree in business management, and I thought if I finished this program, I could land in a job to work in a high-end fashion boutique in Makati. And after that, I was able to work in a jewelry store in Mega Mall. And after that employment, I got to do a different type of job, which is closer to my home, which is a merchandising company. And you know, those kind of jobs, I felt like it didn't really give me any progress at all. I need to do something more. And of course, in the Philippines, there's so many opportunities, but there's so many competencies as well, you know, with regards to looking for a job, because there are requirements that you need to meet, but some requirements I do not meet. So then I prayed, God, what should I do? So I prayed to Him. I asked Him, Lord, please guide me and help me. The back of my mind keep telling me, try Canada. Why not try Canada? But I was thinking, how, when? I don't have any much resources. Well, how will I do that? How can I do that? I have circumstance, that particular circumstance in my life that happened led me to anxiety and depression. But you know what? I have my prayer, I have my family and friends that kind of help me back up and bounce back. And I was able to realize that, okay, this is not the life that I want. I want a new one. I want to start a new life. And the idea in coming to Canada is too impossible for me at the time. And in the first place, I don't have any skills or money at all. But, you know, God was really good. He's been working. He provided the finances for my schooling, for my training. And I was able to go to school. I was able to train as a caregiver. And back then, back in the early 90s, the live-in caregiver program was really in demand in Canada, you know, and even in the Philippines. And the training centers, you can find training centers in many different parts of Manila. To come to Canada, I have to look for an employer. So I have to find out how to get these employers come to me or reach me. And we were lucky enough because the school had provided some insights how to getting some employer and find our place here in Canada. And I was just so blessed because I was one of the shortlisted candidate that has been chosen with this agency here in Canada. Then, of course, being shortlisted, the employer had to choose which one here, which of the shortlisted one that they want to sponsor. So, luckily, I was the one who got the job offer. It's so exciting because, you know, of all the candidates, I was the one who got chosen. So that was the start of my journey coming here to Canada. It's a bit, a mixed emotion, of course. There are tears, there are laughters, but mostly laughter, because the prayers had been answered. Mm-hmm. And I was so excited to go. And as the time goes longer, I realized, oh man, I'm gonna be missing my family. I'm gonna miss my mom, my tatay, my nanay, which, they are aging. They will need me. But of course, this is a new chapter in my life, and I had to face it, because I have my own life that I chose, and I'm thankful because this has been my dream to come to Canada. February 1999, it was a winter month, so well, it's not as cold as it is today. Back then, I think it was only -5 when I arrived. Of course, coming from tropical country, I thought I was in the big freezer, big freezer. And when I arrived in Fort St. John, I thought it's a very small city. It's such a quiet, small town, compared to the streets of Manila or Marikina, where, you can see people walking around. I can remember, I think there were only, you can number them by your hands, maybe around 20 to 30 Filipinos back in 1999. Then I saw this lady, and I thought she looks like a Korean, but no, she was a Filipina. So we started chatting, talking, and that's the start to have a connection through kind of like, it's like a domino effect, right? So you met someone that that you speak your language, and I was so happy that I was able to speak my own language at the time, because when I arrived, I just speak totally English. And of course, we Filipino this is our second language, so it's kind of hard for me that time. So, because of course, Filipinos loves to gather, loves to party, and loves to enjoy our food. So that's how it started. Honestly, there wasn't any Filipino when it comes to go shopping. We need to go to a bigger city to get those foods, to get the foods that I'm craving for. But some of the challenge as well when our first time I arrived here in Fort St. John is the weather. Of course, everyone knows we're not used to this kind of weather. So the tendency that time is I always get a headache because I'm not used to it. So I just stayed home because it's winter time. That's why it's month of February, March, April. It's still kind of my body does not like it. I think I felt like I always gonna get sick because I have a headache. It's a rice because some groceries here sell some rice, that the staples in the Philippines, the one that we used to eat, and but that time we just improvised. And of course, if you went with the Filipino party, sometimes they try to kind of offer you, the food, Filipino foods, the normal Filipino foods, because they were here already, so they know where to get those stocks, and yeah, that's part of the challenge. Well, everyone has a big dream, even every one of us, every immigrant, every Filipino or any other nationalities. For me, is to get some Canadian education. It's one of my dreams, and upgrade my skills and see until where I can reach my capacity, you know. And I think I have achieved that dream. However, you know, even if you achieve it, you don't stop there. You have to climb up more, one step at a time. I should say that my contribution to Canada has been very valuable and relevant because as an immigrant, I always wanted to have something new to the table. I want something to offer in the table. So I want to be somebody, and I want that contribution to be a legacy for the next Filipino generation to come. It's easier for us now, easier for the newcomer to get what they want, especially not only Filipino nationalities, even in other Asian countries, you know. In the groceries, you can see this aisle with different, you know, specifically Asian food, international food, something like that. And I think most of the groceries here now in town offer that kind of service. And also, we used to have only restaurant that caters for Western food, right? But at this time, here in Fort St. John, we already have a Filipino-owned restaurant where he provides and serve, you know, some authentic Filipino cuisine, and of course with a combination of Western food. So yeah, in terms of services with you know, to service the Filipino community, you know, I think it has improved over the years, and yeah, and I'm happy about that. I don't need to travel to our neighboring province to get this stuff because it's already available here. When you come to a different country, you need to be able to have a certain something inside you, skills that you want to, as we mentioned earlier, the thing that we can contribute. Because, of course, we are a people that wants to help all the time or wants to share something to other people all the time. So, me, I work from home. I work here because by the time I have little kids, my kids are little and they need me. They need my attention. So I decided to have, since I have this skill, I decided to open up a sewing and alteration business, and my concentration is doing some bridals, prom dresses, and some other formal dresses, because it's a small city and not too many people are doing this kind of job. So I thought maybe if I can do it at home, I can be working and at the same time earning, and at the same time I'll be with my kids. I became a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I did my schooling back in 2013, and I got my license on the late part of 2016. As an RCIC, I am a member of College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultant. So being a licensed immigration consultant, I can give an ethical advice to those who wants to come to Canada, and I am humbled to say that I had helped many families who came under the Live-in Caregiver program like me. And eventually they brought their families here in Canada too. And I was also glad to see that some family here was able to reunite with their grandparents to see and establish relationship with their grandkids. And I'm so happy to say that I got to see some student who got accepted to their college program. I'm pretty happy and blessed that through this thing that I have, I was able to, to kind of express myself. There are certain freedoms and abilities that now I enjoy. There are big differences actually when it comes to freedom and abilities compared to our home country, Philippines. And there are more opportunities here in Canada actually. I was able to go back to school. At my age, I was able to go back to school, and even if it is done online, and it does not matter how old you are, where you came from, as long as you can, you can interpret yourself. And I don't think I have that in the Philippines. I don't think I feel that there. And I got to pursue my dream to help people to come to Canada and fulfill their dreams as well. And by becoming a licensed immigration consultant, I was able to do this. And I can't do it in the Philippines. There wasn't any opportunity like this in the Philippines. So I feel that Canada has given me an opportunity to do this thing and be more productive and be myself. What I can advise to the new incoming immigrants is to be patient, stay focused on your goals, try to adapt to the Canadian culture, try to discover and develop your other hidden skills that you brought here. Be an active participant in any community events. Be involved in your local church or school, and if possible, do some volunteering in the community. Through this, you will find some connections that will help you in the future. Well, I think as an immigrant myself, we can do more things productively by being an active member of the community and have the spirit of what you call bayanihan. It's a Tagalog word for kind of like coming along together, come together and help out one another. Teach the next generation, And it's important. It's important for us as an immigrant here in Port St. John to be able not only to be known as a good worker, but we are people with good heart, with a servant heart, and ready to help out in whatever manner, in whatever way. I think at this point in my life, at my age, I have achieved the dream that everyone desires. I have a family, I have my husband, my kids, my grandkid. I think I have come to that point that I have achieved my Canadian dream.